I was shocked.
He was shot twice by a stranger lurking in his home. And tonight, his safe haven hit yet again.
Who does that? Like, who does that?
Why he's left footing a $1,000 bill.
It's hard for me to imagine doing stuff like that to people.
Plus, Oklahoma will once again be home to thousands of migrant children, holding them at a former World War II internment camp, the International Outcry.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
All that in a moment, but first we have a lot of violence tonight in the metro and a lot of breaking news stories to tell you about.
You are taking a live look right now near Northeast 50th and Post Road. Photojournalist Jack Chin just getting on the scene there after one man was reportedly shot in the chest, possibly while he was riding a horse.
Right, this happened just within the last half hour, so details are still coming on this. We're told the man was found lying in a front yard. The shooter hasn't been found. However, the horse was a few blocks away. Another gunman on the run after shooting two off-duty officers in the middle of a quiet neighborhood.
News 4's Jacqueline Chappell live near Northwest 25th and College in Bethany. Jacqueline, what's the latest?
Kevin, Jolene, this all happened shortly after 5 o'clock tonight, and the scene is clear now, but the search is still on for a suspect who allegedly fired a shot in this Bethany neighborhood.
It's very scary that this would happen in our neighborhood. That's why we all watch out for each other.
Residents say this Bethany neighborhood is usually quiet, but it was a different story on Thursday evening when gunfire rang out.
The information we have, the person that fired the shot is still outstanding.
Police tell News 4 a man fired a gun at two off-duty officers. Neither officer is from the metro area.
Right now we have Oklahoma City is assisting us with a K-9 trying to track where the suspect might have run off to.
A man who was with the gunman captured by police. A neighbor caught this video of the arrest, but the other suspect is still on the run.
That's crazy that somebody would be walking up and down your street with guns, during the daytime, even at nighttime.
Air One flying over the scene in search of the man who got away, who may still be armed. Bethany police say luckily no one was injured. The two officers involved taken in for questioning.
We're trying to figure out exactly what all went down. So, they're like a regular citizen when they're out of their jurisdiction.
But neighbors now just hoping to get some answers.
It's very upsetting because anymore nowadays you can't even look at anybody anymore. Nowadays you don't know who's carrying a gun. You don't know what's going to happen.
And right now, police say they don't have a very good suspect description right now, but they're hoping to have a better one once they conclude the rest of their interviews this evening. Reporting live here in Bethany, Jacqueline Chappell, Oklahoma's News 4.
We will look for your update on that, Jacqueline. Thank you. Another breaking story to catch you up on. A woman caught in the crossfire, shot by U.S. Marshals in Allen, Oklahoma. That's about 25 miles northeast of Ada in Pontotoc County. It's also about 135 miles away from Logan County, where authorities say this man, Adam Quilamaco, was doing work with other inmates when he escaped. Well, they tracked him down outside an Allen gas station, and that's where chaos erupted. News 4's Peyton Yeager in Allen with the latest.
That shooting happening in the back parking lot of this gas station. A car tucked right here inside of it, an escaped inmate, and in the front seat, his possible girlfriend ready to fight off police with a pistol.
Thankfully, none of our customers knew. That helped control the situation to where no one was panicked.
But on the other side of this wall at the Merryman Country Store, there was panic happening inside this Jeep. Just a few moments before,
an outsider repeatedly in the store, that's not normal.
It's this abnormal behavior that caused the store manager to perk her ears.
Been asking us as workers for money.
A stolen credit card sparked police interest. The shopper, Melissa Grayson. Allen police approached her Jeep and struggled to pull her out of her vehicle. She resists, pulls out a gun, and points it straight at officers.
Not the most comforting feeling.
That's when a U.S. Marshal opened fire. Grayson hit multiple times.
Arm, leg, was kind of scattered.
All this happening while a fugitive is sitting in the passenger seat not making a sound. Adam Quilamaco escaped from the Logan County Jail on Wednesday. He was being held on charges of robbery and possession of stolen property. Police say Quilamaco was a trustee and allowed to work off-site when he walked away from the group, eventually meeting up with Grayson.
You don't do that in Allen.
The pair not making it too far in this getaway vehicle before Allen police were ready to step in. This is a first for the chief.
This is the only officer-involved shooting thing I've dealt with.
We are hearing the victim could have up to 4 gunshot wounds. We do know she was flown to OU Med in Oklahoma City. As for Cualamaco, he's back in custody. And a little bit about his past, he's faced several felony charges in several different counties before. One of them, failure to register as a sex offender. In Allen, Peyton Yeager, Oklahoma's News 4.
Thank you, Peyton. Former OU President David Boren speaking out one day after cutting all ties with the university he spent more than 2 decades leading. In his first public statement, Boren says he came under personal attack, calling it, quote, so vicious and relentless that it defied my comprehension. Boren, of course, addressing the sexual misconduct scandal that's currently being investigated by the OSBI. His statement continues, quote, I felt that it was best to resolve this matter rather than continue a battle which was damaging lives and the university itself. While I was tempted to pursue a continued battle to protect my reputation and demonstrate that I was innocent of any wrongdoing, I felt it was best for the university and all concerned for me to suggest a resolution to end this divisive and unfair controversy. Boren saying he will always be a university supporter and that he only has best wishes for OU going forward. Meanwhile, at least one statue and building bear Boren's name at OU right now. University officials tell News 4 there are no plans to remove that statue or rename David L. Boren Hall.
And the university announcing a second round of layoffs, this time cutting 69 positions. We're told that those cuts will primarily be at the Norman campus and give an estimated $4.2 million in savings. The announcement comes just 4 months after OU announced the first round of layoffs, eliminating 28 positions in February.
Now, first weather from the Forewarned Storm Team.
It was picture perfect today. Low humidity, light winds, sunshine for this time of year. Not hot temperatures. We'll sure take that. Let's take a look outside here on this Thursday, and skies are still fair here in Oklahoma City. Sunset tonight at nearly 8:45. Those days are so long this time of year, and a little high cloud cover out there. We're still kind of relishing some fairly unmuggy weather outside. We're already dropping into the upper 60s and a few low 70s here during the 10 o'clock hour. Chickasha is 68, over in Harrah 66 degrees, and Chandler 68. Skies are fair. Thunderstorms, though, are approaching tonight. This is the beginning of waves or opportunities of showers and thunderstorms going forward into Friday and our Father's Day weekend. Jolene and Kevin, I'm going to track these waves of storms, let you know when there is a risk of severe weather and heavy rainfall. That forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, my friend. On the night beat, I'll tell you, it's been one blow after another for one Metro family. We brought you the first part of this story back in January. 19-year-old Brett Duncan shot in his own home when he walked in on a burglar. After more than a dozen surgeries, Brett is finally out of the hospital, but now his wheelchair has been stolen right off his front porch. News 4's Cassandra Sweetman met with Brett and his mother today, and Cass, it's gotten to the point where they're considering, we're leaving, we're moving.
That's right, Kevin. And you've got to ask yourself, can you blame them? They've only lived in that home for a year. Brett has maintained an incredible attitude about all of it, but paying for this rented wheelchair is going to set them back yet again.
Moving here for me to be shot, and then now my wheelchair being stolen off the front porch. It's amazing to me.
A lot to cope with for now 20-year-old Brett Duncan. In January, he came downstairs to find a stranger in his home. That stranger shot him in the neck and then the back. His injuries kept him in the hospital for 3 months, and so far, he's had more than a dozen surgeries. Doctors say Brett may never be able to use his right hand again.
I just try to stay positive because there's no reason to look at the negative when you don't have to.
Returning to their home wasn't easy. Brett's mother, Kimberly, ready to move.
He said, no, that's our house, and we like it, and we're not going to let them take it from us. We actually started feeling like, okay, safe.
But last week, their home was hit once again. This time, newly installed security cameras caught the culprit in action.
I was shocked. Oh my goodness, speechless moment.
A person snooping around their front porch, stealing items here and there, then taking away Brett's specialty wheelchair.
Who does that? Who does that?
The video shows the suspect wearing a jacket with a woman's silhouette on the sleeve. Brett and his mother hoping it's found soon. He doesn't rely on it anymore, but it was rented and will cost the family about $1,000 out of pocket to replace.
It wasn't even ours to steal.
And while they're hoping for things, what he really wants is for the person who shot him to face justice.
It's hard for me to imagine doing stuff like that to people.
Now, if you recognize the wheelchair thief or know anything about the shooting in January, please contact police. Jolene.
Thank you, Cassandra. Oklahoma will once again be home to thousands of migrant children, holding them at a former World War II internment camp. We're talking about Fort Sill here. The National Park Service says the Army post north of Lawton once held hundreds of Japanese Americans and Japanese immigrants after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941. The president of Densho, an organization that documents history of camps, says Fort Sill is a place layered in trauma and that it should be closed, not reused. The Office of Refugee Resettlement plans to house up to 1,400 children there. The base also served as a temporary shelter for migrant children back in 2014.
Speaking of Japan, the U.S. blaming Iran for attacking 2 oil tankers, one of them Japanese, the other Norwegian. The tankers were attacked at sea near the Persian Gulf. A fire raging aboard one of the tankers, the other was left adrift. Now, the Secretary of State blaming Iran, though not providing any reason for why. Iran denies involvement. Meanwhile, one of the last original aides to President Trump is leaving the White House. The departure of Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders was first announced in a tweet by the president, saying that she will leave at the end of the month and that she will be going home to Arkansas. He also endorsed her to run for governor of that state. Sanders told reporters today that she's not ruling out a gubernatorial run in Arkansas. Not immediately clear who will replace her in the press office.
Next in weather.
A much needed chance to dry out today. Sunshine, low humidity. But folks, tonight things are going to change. Heading into Friday and our weekend, a risk of severe weather is there and heavy rainfall. A lot of noise as well on the horizon. We'll track those waves of storms coming up.
Plus, 30 years ago, you had up to 17 minutes to escape a house fire. Tonight, that number drastically smaller. We're going to tell you why today's homes are burning so much faster. Next.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10 with Jolene Cheney, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, Brian Brinkley, and Scott Hines in your corner. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.
Less than 3 minutes. These days, that's how much time firefighters say you have to escape if there's a fire in your home.
News 4's Lacey Lett shows us the 2 reasons why fires today are burning hotter and faster than ever before, and the one thing you can do before bed tonight that might save your life.
Take a look at the flames shooting out of this living room window. While this fire was intentionally set by firefighters, they did it to demonstrate that fires today are burning hotter and faster than ever before.
Fires today burn about 15 times hotter than about 20 years ago.
Firefighter Eric Ashley and his crew are kept plenty busy. He says there are 2 main factors working against you in a fire now. The first, newer homes are burning quicker thanks to how they're built.
Much of the construction is engineered using glue, laminates and stuff to make lumber out of fibers, and it burns and produces very toxic smoke.
Newer homes also have more open layouts, allowing smoke and flames to spread. And then there's what's inside.
About 30 years ago, most home furnishings consisted of wool, cotton, and regular wood. Today, most of them are metal with synthetic material.
Those also burn hotter and faster. Something you can see firsthand in this demonstration. Within a matter of seconds, the flames spread in the living room, engulfing the space in a matter of minutes.
With fires today burning hotter and faster than ever before, there's one thing that firefighters say you can do every night to protect yourself. Close the door as you go to bed.
It's about that compartmentalization.
It's so important firefighters have embraced the slogan, close before you doze.
That door will protect you in your bedroom for about 15 minutes. That keeps the smoke and the heat from penetrating into the bedroom, allowing you to be alert and escape.
But it only works if you have a working smoke alarm in your home and you heed the warning when it goes off.
As soon as they hear the smoke alarm, don't take time to investigate. Gather your family, gather your pets, and immediately evacuate the structure.
Doing that is your best chance to survive. With fires burning hotter and faster, it's now a race against the clock if one ever breaks out in your home. Lacey Lett, Oklahoma's News 4.
All right, Lacey, thank you. And some of those fires now start from the sky, don't they?
Lightning, yeah. We sure get plenty of that around here, don't we?
Yes.
You know, our weather, we get a break here from the heavy rain. We get dry weather, dry air, low humidity, nice day. It's not over yet.
What?
It's not over yet.
Okay.
We can't seem to get a break here. It's an active June. It's going to continue. Let's take a look outside. Here's our sunset. And tonight we have fair skies. It's still quiet for a little while longer, but we're about ready to reload into an active weather pattern here again, folks. And I'll explain that to you coming up. It really has a lot to do with this first wave of thunderstorms right now coming through the Oklahoma and Texas panhandle. Now, these have been severe, but it's a trend toward the jet stream getting more active and the return of southerly winds, muggy air, hotter temperatures, and a pretty good gusty wind that develops along with waves of jet stream energy. You know, you can see it right here. Look at all this out here, all this cloud cover here, waves of energy out here approaching from the west. And it won't rain, of course, all the time, but we're really talking about a better opportunity of showers and thunderstorms, even beginning later tonight. That'd be wave number 1, and I'm trying to count how many waves we may see, but it could be 3 or 4 between tonight and Sunday night. But again, it won't rain all the time, so we'll kind of break that down for you, let you know the best chance of storms and when and where it'll be. These storms will weaken slowly, but they will come into western Oklahoma later tonight, and then by late tonight toward daybreak in the morning, there's an opportunity in the metro, again, of some showers and thunderstorms. 62 our low tonight, not quite as cool and not quite as quiet tonight as it was last night. And then that wave, you see it there? It moves, see how that cloud cover there? It moves on by. That wave goes by. We're warmer tomorrow. South winds kick in. Muggy re-arrives. It'll feel more like June for a change instead of this fine, crisp weather we have had. And then look at this. Here's another wave coming in late tomorrow, and that will be encountering even more unstable weather Friday night into Saturday morning. So let's take a closer look at that. So here's Friday night. Again, here's the next wave for 24 hours from now. You can see that travels from west to east across our state. So are you seeing the trend here? For the metro, it looks like the best chance of rain and storms is during the overnight period for later tonight and also for later tomorrow night. And then Saturday afternoon, that wave moves on by. You see the general trend here, south winds and even hotter temperatures on Saturday afternoon. We'll reload for yet another wave for Saturday night and Sunday morning. That one appears to be a significant jet stream storm. 62 degrees tonight. There's a 30 to 40% chance of storms in the metro tonight coming in from the Texas panhandle. I showed those to you coming out of the Amarillo area now. So a moderate area of thunderstorms tonight. Later tonight, more storms will form up around Ponca City and Tulsa, really closer to daybreak here, but a decent chance, 30 to 40% in the metro tonight, late, very late, of seeing some storms. That moves by. 84 tomorrow. Most of the day tomorrow, Friday, will be dry. South winds pick up. It gets very muggy outside. Temperatures will be in the lower to upper 80s. And then late tomorrow afternoon and evening, thunderstorms develop in the panhandle in far northwest Oklahoma, and those start to track to the east. Okay, so here's the risk. Here's the risk for severe weather tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night for 75-mile-an-hour winds, 2¼ inch diameter hail, a few tornadoes, especially the tornado threat out here in the high plains, but they'll be tracking to the east as the jet stream, that blue line, starts to arrive. Here's Saturday afternoon, upper 80s, strong southerly winds getting very unstable, and by late Saturday afternoon and evening, a low to moderate chance of thunderstorms. These will be severe when they do go. So here's the risk for Saturday afternoon through Saturday night. Slight risk and enhanced risk, 75-mile-an-hour winds, 2½ inch diameter hail, a few tornadoes possible, especially in that enhanced risk area. Again, that is late Saturday and Saturday night. And then Sunday, I colored the entire state with a slight risk, but heavy flooding rainfall is also possible. So with these waves of storms, some scattered heavy rain also coming. Here's rainfall the next 4 days or so. As you see here, don't look at the exact amounts, but you see the oranges, the reds, and the purples there. That's 2 to 5 inches of rain. That could be just about anywhere in the state. So here's my 7-day. Again, 30% tonight, 20% for tomorrow, 84 for high and breezy, and then 50% tomorrow night, 30% for daytime Saturday, 80% for Saturday night, 50% for Father's Day Sunday. So there's the big time action there. 88 Saturday, 84 Sunday, and then 30, 30, 30, and then 20. Upper 80s for highs and lows in the muggy low 70s. And that is your 7-day plus 4 tonight.
Thank you, sir. Forewarned Storm Team works around the clock, so you know what you're going to get in the morning. You're forewarned in the morning with Damien and Emily tomorrow morning starting at 4.
And coming up, a furry friend celebrates a first-time championship. The adorable video. You're not going to win.
Is it your new pup, Penny?
Penny? No, but I can get you one.
All right. Well, plus the unreal start one Cowboy got off to at the U.S. Open. We're not talking Ricky either. It's next.
Now, sports with Dylan Buckingham.
There's no doubt Ricky Fowler is one of the most popular and well-rounded players on the PGA Tour. However, the disappointment of never winning a major continues to cloud his career. Fowler, he's off to an incredible start at the U.S. Open, a clubhouse leader until some late heroics. But Victor Hovland, still an amateur, not quite professional yet because he qualified as an amateur on this, went low today. He likes to go low. Gets that birdie, went as low as 4 under, but he finished at 1 under today. Now, Ricky Fowler was fantastic on 15. Look at this approach. Just he's going to nestle it as close as he can to the pin here. He shot a 66. He was your clubhouse leader just about the entire day. Gets that birdie there, but Justin Rose sinks the birdie putt on 18, shot a 65. He has a 1-shot lead over Fowler, but Ricky says no pressure.
The expectations and the pressure on myself that I put on myself is a lot more than what's coming from the outside. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to get a major. It would be awesome if it was this week. We're off to a good start. We've got a lot of work to do, but I think I said earlier in the week that, you know, whether I win a major or I don't in my career, it's not something that's going to define me.
Well, Thunder GM Sam Presti and his wife Shannon are donating an incredible $600,000 to the Children's Hospital at OU Medicine. The money will reportedly build 2 procedure rooms and aid in technology upgrades for blood disorders as well as the bone marrow transplant unit. That's awesome. And this is pretty cool too. Meet Barclay. This is the St. Louis Blues office dog. He was first introduced in December of 2018 and liked to practice with the team. And how adorable is this? Well, it's safe to say he made a lot of difference this year as the Blues are your Stanley Cup champions as of last night. And Barclay has grown up since December and looked a little worn out after last night's celebrations. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. Now, I promise there will not be a test after this, all right? 30% chance tonight, 20% for tomorrow, and then 50% tomorrow night, 30% Saturday, 80% Saturday night, 50% on Father's Day Sunday. See why I said there wasn't going to be a test?
Good.
Some severe weather around as well. We'll track that very carefully. But in between the storms, some dry time and very muggy as well. We'll track it.
Well, that new math has got us before.
A lot of numbers.
The answer's C.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
That was good.